Hello everyone, welcome once again to Let's Talk Criterion, and in this edition we'll be looking at Mudbound. That's the 2017 Netflix produced drama directed by Dee Rees. Now Dee Rees, of course, already has a title in the Criterion collection, and that's Pariah. From 2011, it's a coming-of-age tale to honestly represent the experiences of queer black women, especially teenagers, coming to terms with sexuality. Now, Rees was born in 1977 in Nashville, Tennessee. After she graduated from business school, Rees held an array of jobs, including working as a salesperson for panty liners, a vendor for wart remover and bunion pads, and also she worked in marketing and brand management. Now, while she was working for Dr. Scholl's, Rees worked on a set for a commercial, and she realised that she enjoyed the creation of film content, and this led her to pursue film school. Spike Lee was her professor and mentor, and Dee Rees went to work with Spike on his films Inside Man and When the Levees Broke from 2006. Rees' first full-length film was a documentary feature, Eventual Salvation from 2009, which aired on the Sundance Channel. Prior to Mudbound, in 2015, Rees' film Bessie premiered on HBO. It starred Queen Latifah as the iconic singer Bessie Smith, and it was well received by critics. It also won 4 Primetime Emmy Awards, including the Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Television Movie. And Rees was nominated also for Outstanding Direction for a miniseries, movie or dramatic special, and for Outstanding Writing for a miniseries, movie or dramatic special. Now, Mudbound is a 2017 American historical drama, and Rees co-wrote the screenplay with Virgil Williams. They based their screenplay on the 2008 novel written by Hilary Jordan. Starring Carey, Mulligan, Garrett, Hedlund, Jason Clarke, Jason Mitchell, Jonathan Banks, Rob Morgan and Mary J. Blige, the film depicts 2 World War II veterans. One is white and one is black, and they return to rural Mississippi, each to address racism and PTSD in their own way. The film premiered at the 2017 Sundance Film Festival on January the 21st of 2017, and it was released on Netflix and limited theatrical release on November in that year. Now, Henry McGallan, Jason Clarke, and his wife Laura, Carey Mulligan, suffer a setback when his brother, Jamie Garrett Hedlund, becomes a war pilot. Mulligan beautifully captures Laura's sense of having no place in a world where her brother-in-law shows her more care and attention than her husband does. And with Jamie gone, Laura must cope with her volatile husband who seethes with resentment against the black workers who threaten his livelihood. And then there's Henry's clan member daddy. That's Better Call Saul's Jonathan Banks, whose bigotry is really rampant. Now, violence, of course, erupts. But Mudbound still finds its centre and its heart in the tale of Ronsel and Jamie, who both returned from home from battle as victims of PTSD, though no one had a word for it in the 1940s. The two form a bond that their respective circles can't condone, much less understand, and Hedlund cuts to the core of Jamie's trauma, and Mitchell gives the film's most shattering performance as a soldier who fell in love with a German woman and found equality in the army, something that is totally denied to him when he returns home. Now, how Rees interlocks the threads of this story and the interior voices that give it life represents a stunning achievement on her part, and she gets indelible, in-depth performances from the actors. And a special word goes out here to Mary J. Blige, the thundering soul singer and R&B artist who imbues Florence with grit and radiant grace. Now, the director of the film and her cinematographer, that's Rachel Morrison, does wonders with the elements that batter the people of every race and social class in the Mississippi Delta. But it's storm raging inside these characters that rivets our attention and makes Mudbound a film that grabs you and just won't let go. 100 well-placed plot breadcrumbs lead us to our perfect ending. But apart from script writing craft, Rees gets in some bravura scenes of high tension as well. There are tank battles, dogfights, torrential rainstorms, and tense scenes of multi-generational whiskey drinking. And then there are the performances. Now, Mudbound is a rarity indeed. It's a true ensemble piece with no main character. Everyone is really good in it, especially Morgan as Hap. He's particularly astounding. A wise, honest and hard-working man who preaches on Sunday in a half-built church. Morgan imbues the character of Hap with a farmer's honesty, and the livelihood of his family is directly dependent on how much of his back he puts into everything he does. Now, given how important both characters are to the film's denouement, it initially feels rather odd they're so peripheral in the film for so long. But ultimately, the director, Dee Rees, has made a film about people and place, and it's how Mississippi and its laws and belief systems affects these two families, their lives indeed, and that's all important. Mudbound is a snapshot of a time, but also, more pertinently, with white supremacists again marching through American streets recently, a potent warning that we haven't entirely left our past horrors behind us. It's a period piece and it evokes the grand family epics of old Hollywood, most specifically George Stevens's 1956 film Giant. Now, filming on Mudbound began in New Orleans in Louisiana in May of 2016, and for the film's opening scene, artificial rain produced by rain towers was used, while actual rain was filmed for the wider shots. Shooting for the film took place over the course of 29 days, including 2 days spent in Budapest, Hungary, for the scene set during World War II. The production was impacted by both heat and stormy weather, and in fact on one occasion Rachel Morrison, the DOP, developed sun poisoning. Dee Rees asked Morrison to focus on the idea of the American dream versus the American reality, so Morrison turned to books by Farm Security Administration photographers for reference points regarding colour and composition, and Michael T. Boyd served as the film's costume designer. Now, some of the clothing worn by the poorer characters in the film appears dated more to the 1930s as opposed to the 1940s, when the film actually takes place. And this was an intentional decision on the costume designer's part to give the impression of clothes passed down between generations of people, unable to afford newer ones. The military and pilot uniforms seen in the film were replicas of real uniforms. The soundtrack was composed by Tamar Kali, a critically acclaimed American rock singer-songwriter and composer, for which she won the World Soundtrack Award in the Discovery of the Year category. And at the 90th Oscars, the film earned 4 nominations there: Best Supporting Actress for Mary J. Blige, Best Original Song sung by her, Mighty River, and co-written by Blige, Raphael Saadiq and Tora Stinson, and Best Adapted Screenplay for Rees and Virgil Williams. But unfortunately the film didn't take any of those awards. Mudbound comes to the US collection on Blu-ray disc with the following special features. New 2K digital master supervised by the director Dee Rees and director of photography Rachel Morrison. And there's a Dolby Atmos soundtrack. New audio commentary featuring Rees. New documentary featuring Rees, composer Tamar Kali, editor Mako Kamitsuna, and the makeup artist Angie Wells. New documentary made on the set featuring members of the cast and the crew. An interview with Morrison. New interview with production designer David J. Bomba. There's a trailer and teaser, and an essay written by the critic Danielle Amir Jackson. And the new cover art is by Princeton Nana. Mudbound has a running time of 134 minutes, and it comes to the collection in a 2:39:1 aspect ratio. It releases on Tuesday the 30th of January, and it's spine 1205. And I'd just like to mention, though not strictly Criterion related, it certainly has some crossover with the films that Criterion curates, and I'll be taking a look at Mubi and its physical media and streaming channel in a future special, so that might interest you. And now just a tribute to Canadian-born film director Norman Jewison, who sadly passed away on the 20th of January. He worked in television in the 60s and 70s in both Canada and the US before becoming a prolific film director with classic films such as In the Heat of the Night, Fiddler on the Roof, Jesus Christ Superstar, The Thomas Crown Affair, Agnes of God, and Moonstruck, among many others. And he left us this year, aged 97. In a future edition, we'll be looking at the 90s phenomena that is Danny Boyle's Trainspotting. So until then, from me, it's goodbye, and above all, Good Criterion viewing.
Life is a teacher, time is a healer, and I'm a believer, like a river wild. Ego's a killer, greed is a monster, but love is stronger, stronger than them all. White flag in hand, I don't wanna fight.